This week, the new Business Leaders Outlook survey says businesses are leaning into growth with technology and plans for hiring.
There's good reason to be optimistic and good reason to invest in yourself and good reason to try to figure out how to get around the worker issue.
Senior economist Jim Glassman sits down with us to weigh in. It promotes collaboration and it's eco-friendly, a sneak peek of the planned campus in Mumbai, India. Plus, a pork problem for China and its tie to the trade deal with the US. Welcome to JPMorgan Chase News. I'm Kim Morton reporting from New York. Most small and mid-sized U.S. business leaders expect continued growth for their companies in 2020, but there are some concerns about finding qualified talent while looking to grow. That's according to the 10th annual JPMorgan Chase Business Leaders Outlook survey. For more on that, let's send it over to Heather Burian.
The Business Leaders Outlook survey is a snapshot of the current business environment, taking into account the responses of business leaders from both U.S. small businesses and middle market companies. To break down the results, we have senior economist Jim Glassman with us. And Jim, the pace of economic growth is slowing down. There have been geopolitical concerns. So what are you seeing as companies look to expand both globally and domestically?
Well, what's interesting about the survey is there's really two telling things that come out of the survey. First of all, folks tell us they're investing in themselves. And the things that they know most about, their own business, they're pretty optimistic about. So that's promising because it tells you they're not really thinking about recession. They're thinking about the future and how you take advantage of that. Secondly, they're having a hard time finding people across the country. And that just tells you there's vast opportunity if they can just figure out how to solve their labor problem. What you need to do is you need to figure out how to train people more, attract people, maybe use technology to get around some of the challenges. I think really the body language of this survey tells you that in contrast to all this talk about recession last year, what business leaders are telling us is it feels pretty good and the outlook is pretty solid.
Can we talk a little bit about that point? Because businesses do want to grow and they want to attract more customers. Hiring's the problem. So is this a people issue? Is this a skills issue? What are you seeing?
It's a people issue. Skills, not so much, because if you look at manufacturing, the unfilled job postings are actually coming down. It's a people problem across industries, across the country, and it's really a reflection of what's going on with the demographics in America. The growth of the working population is slowing down, maybe to a third to 1/4 what it used to be 10 years ago. And what that means is there's a lot of work to do, but we don't have the people. And it's because you've got a large population retiring, and we don't have the immigration to fill that gap.
So what would you tell businesses to look at as they approach their strategies for 2020?
Well, I would say there's good reason to be optimistic and good reason to invest in yourself and good reason to try to figure out how to get around the worker issue, because there's a lot of promise out there if you can do it. If you can find the people and you can retain the people, you're going to find there's a lot more work you can do.
All right, Jim, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Building off the momentum of our newly announced campuses in Bengaluru and Hyderabad, JPMorgan Chase is building a new campus in Mumbai, India. The state-of-the-art facility will consolidate many of the Mumbai corporate center offices and promote further collaboration. The proposed LEED Platinum-rated facility will incorporate high standards of sustainability and ecologically friendly architecture, building on the firm's commitment to reduce its environmental footprint. Plus, there's a proposed metro rail station in the works nearby. What does African swine fever have to do with the trade deal? Maybe more than you think. Recent research from JPMorgan's Asset Management Global Market Insight Strategy team states that African swine fever has been ravaging China's pigs since August 2018, shrinking the country's herd by 40 to 50%. China is the world's largest pork consumer. That JPMorgan research shows pork prices in China have surged in 2019, rising 110% year over year in November. To meet demand, China has been importing pork from around the world and announced a cut in tariffs on frozen pork effective January 1st. Plus, it's already been increasing its imports from the U.S., the world's largest pork exporter. The new Phase 1 agreement between the U.S. and China includes the U.S. reducing some tariffs in exchange for more Chinese purchase of American agriculture products. That wraps up this week's JPMorgan Chase News. I'm Kim Morton. We'll see you next week.